Hello everyone, my name is Muskan. I am legal intern at LexClick and Company. So today's topic of discussion is negligence under law of torts. So let's proceed with our topic. Definition of negligence. According to Winfield, negligence is the breach of a legal duty of care by the plaintiff which results in undesired damage to the plaintiff. Illustration. Jed, an owner of a big dog, requests his friend X to take care of the dog while he is away. X leaves the dog unattended, who attacks a passerby, badly injuring him. Here it will be said that act occurred due to the negligence of X. How is criminal negligence different from civil negligence? Criminal negligence is said to take place when a person acts in a particular way which is an extreme departure from which a reasonable person would act in a similar or same circumstance. The difference in civil negligence is that the conduct may not be seen as a radical departure from the way a reasonable person would have responded. Civil negligence occurs when a person fails to exercise ordinary care or due diligence, but criminal negligence leads to a conduct that is considered so extreme and rash that it is a clear divergence from the way an ordinarily prudent person would act and is considered to be more than just a mistake in judgment or distraction. So, essentials of negligence. Duty of care. It is one of the essential conditions of the negligence. In order to make the person liable, it means that every person owes a duty of care to another person while performing an act. Although this duty exists in all acts, but in negligence the duty is legal in nature and cannot be illegal or unlawful, and also cannot be of moral, ethical or religious nature. The duty must be towards by the plaintiff. A duty arises when the law recognizes a relationship between the defendant and the plaintiff and requires the defendant to act in a certain manner towards the plaintiff. It is not sufficient that the defendant own the duty of care towards the plaintiff, but it must also be established, which is usually determined by the judge. Breach of duty to take care. It is not enough for a plaintiff to prove that the defendant owed him a duty of care, but he must also establish that the defendant breached his duty to the plaintiff. A defendant breaches such a duty by failing to exercise reasonable care in fulfilling the duty. In other words, the breach of a duty of care means the person who has an existing duty of care should act wisely and not omit or commit any act which he has to do or not to, as said in the case. Actual cause or cause in fact. This is called but for causation, which means that but for defendant's action the plaintiff would not have incurred the damages. For example, when a bus strikes a car, the bus driver's action are the actual cause of the accident. Proximate cause. Proximate cause means legal cause or the cause that the law recognizes as the primary cause of the injury. It may not be the first event that set in motion a sequence of events that led to an injury, and it may not be the very last event before the injury occurs. Instead, it is an action that produces foreseeable consequences without intervention from anyone else. A defendant in the negligence case is only responsible for those damages that the defendant could have foreseen through his action. Consequently, harm to the plaintiff. Proving that the defendant failed to exercise reasonable care is not enough. The harm may fall into following classes: bodily harm, harm to reputation, harm to property, financial loss, mental harm. When such damage is proved, the defendant is bound to compensate the plaintiff for the damages occurred. Res ipsa loquitur. The following are the three essential requirements for the application of this maxim. The thing causing the damage must be under the control of the defendant or his servants. The accident must be such as would not have happened in the ordinary course of things without negligence. There must be no evidence of the actual cause of the accident. And defenses available in suit for negligence. First is contributory negligence by the plaintiff. Contributory negligence means that when the immediate cause of damage is the negligence of plaintiff himself, the plaintiff cannot sue the defendant for the damages and the defendant can use it as a defense. Act of God. An act of God is a direct, violent and sudden act of nature which by any amount of human foresight could have been foreseen, and if foreseen could not by any amount of human care and skill have been resisted, Thus, such acts which are caused by the basic forces of nature comes under this category. Inevitable accident. An inevitable accident can also be called as defense of negligence and refers to an accident that had no chance of being prevented by the exercise of ordinary care, causing and skill. It means a physically unavoidable accident. So let's conclude with our topic. Conclusion. Negligence as a tort has evolved from the English law and accepted by the Indian law. As discussed, negligence is of two types, civil and criminal, and each has various presumptions. In order to prove that act was negligent, it is necessary to prove all the essentials, namely duty, breach of duty, damages, and actual and proximate cause. An important maxim regarding negligence, res ipsa loquitur, is used by the courts when the negligent act cannot be explained. Also, the defenses in suit for negligence can be used by the defendant to defend himself from a suit issued by the plaintiff. So that's all for today. If you like my video, do like, comment and subscribe the Let's Click YouTube channel. Thank you.